Merry Christmas! This week's video is easy last minute Christmas recipes. Now these recipes have been viewed by over 5 million viewers, so we know they're going to be good, and it's a quick slow down and enjoy the season. I wanted to forewarn you because in my mind I cook like Martha Stewart, but in reality it's more like I Love Lucy, so I apologise. I'd rather decorate than cook, but here we go. This Christmas crack recipe is one of the easiest you'll make with just 5 ingredients and no candy thermometer. You can't really go wrong. First things first, you get your baking tray and you lay aluminum foil or parchment paper on the baking sheet. You can either spray or coat it with a cooking spray. I used coconut oil. Next, you put a single layer of saltine crackers on the baking sheet, and you want them to cover the entire surface, so feel free to break them to get it to fit. In a medium pot, heat the 1 cup of butter until it's fully melted. Then add the 1 cup of brown sugar and bring it to a boil. You want to stir this so that it's completely absorbed. It'll take a little while, but it will come together. You're going to cook this for 3 minutes and keep stirring it. Use a timer for this step once you've got it to this point. Once it stops, immediately pour the toffee over the top of the crackers and bake for 7 minutes in a 350 degree oven. Evenly distribute the toffee over all the crackers. It doesn't matter if some of the crackers aren't entirely covered, it'll all absorb while it's heating in the oven. And the next step is then to, once it comes out of the oven, to add the chocolate chips. Remove the crackers from the oven, let it sit for 1 to 2 minutes, and then sprinkle the chocolate chips over the top. Add the baking sheet to the oven for another 30 to 60 seconds if they don't melt completely, but if you leave them long enough, they will, a good 2 minutes will melt all of the chocolate. Make sure you distribute the chocolate to cover the entire slab, and then let the baking sheet cool completely, and once it's cooled to the touch, add it to the fridge for 3 to 4 hours. Before you add it to the fridge though, you can add your toppings. I've made a batch with plain just chocolate, and I've made chopped cashew nuts and Smarties. It's entirely up to you how you want to finish this off. So you've got all your ingredients together. You're going to mix the softened cream cheese, the sour cream, the garlic powder and the ranch dressing all together in one bowl. It doesn't have to be completely smooth, just work it together until it's blended. Once that's blended together, you're going to add 3/4 of a cup of pickles. You're going to set aside a few just to garnish on top. You're going to put the white beans in, and you're going to use half of the cheese blend, the fresh dill, save a little bit for the top, and the pickle brine. And again, you're going to mix it together until it's well combined and all of the ingredients are distributed evenly. So once it's all mixed, put the dip into a 7 by 10 inch baking dish. I've used a glass one here, but you can use whatever oven dish that you have. Top it with the remaining cheese first, then the remaining chopped pickles, and bake this in a 375-degree oven for 20 to 25 minutes. Once that's done, broil it for another 2 to 3 minutes to brown all of the cheese on top. Remove it from the oven, and once that's cooled just a little bit, add the rest of the fresh dill, and then it's ready to serve. Serve this hot with potato chips or pita chips, and honestly, this is delicious. This brie and cranberry festive wreath only takes 30 minutes from start to finish, and it's a delicious addition to any Christmas gathering. 2 rolls of Pillsbury crescent rolls, cranberry sauce, I use the chunky, a brie wheel and egg wash. Now, as you can see, I've got a baking tray covered in foil. The bigger the better. This is the only size that I have, so it worked perfectly. Break apart your Pillsbury crescents to form it's like a sun shape in a circle. You can leave the centre empty. Once that is done, you're going to cut your brie and place it all around the circle. Then you're going to top that with the cranberry sauce. Again, use as much brie as you want and as much cranberry sauce as you want. Once this is all in place, you're going to fold back the points into the center and cover up all of the cranberry and the brie. And what I do is I take the extra little pieces from the center and then refold them to cover all of the cranberry and the brie. As you can see, it makes a full circle. Then you're going to give it a quick egg wash, and it's going to go off into the oven. So I have broken 1 egg into a small bowl, just whisked it with a fork and then brushed it on top of the pastry. And again, in the oven, 375 degrees for 15 minutes until it's golden brown. Serve this warm. It is oh so good. It's ooey gooey. It's so delicious. It was so good I ended up making a couple of them. My son actually made one as well. He enjoyed it that much. And this really is so easy and so yummy over Christmas. This year I was committed to making a quiet place for Christmas, and that quiet place was my library. Now, I had to do a few things to get it exactly how I wanted it. So I grabbed this bench from outside. I made a little bit of my homemade paint, chalk paint. I used the paint that I used on the door and the wall, and I mixed it in a jar with a cup of paint, a quarter cup of plaster of Paris, and a quarter cup of water. I shook it all together in the jar and I painted this little bench, and it was the perfect addition to my lovely library. It is possible to slow down enough to genuinely enjoy Christmas, to quietly sit and enjoy the fruits of your labour, to contemplate the year that's been and the new year that's coming. And this is where I like to do it. This is our little back room, which is our library. And you know what it's like, you're moving furniture to fit Christmas trees, to extra. We've done lots of work around the house to make room for all our guests and extra seating. But this little library, I've had to sort of jingle jangle to get everything to fit. This is our little nativity cloche that I make every year, and I put the little twinkle lights in. It always reminds me of the star. So this always comes out, and I usually have it somewhere where I can see it, but because we're going to have lots of dogs around the house, we decided to keep it up high in the library. But it is nice to sit in here and to have the soft glow of the twinkle lights and the little lights that I've spread around the room. There's a couple of really comfy armchairs, and of course Dudley's always going to come and join me there. There's a little desk to sit and write your Christmas cards. We've added a little fire, and I'm going to be making a little fireplace for this in the new year. That's an upcoming project, but it's just a nice place to sit and enjoy the evenings and the quiet, and again just to appreciate all the work that I've done, and not just myself but everybody, and just to sit and be thankful for everything and enjoy the season without all the hustle and bustle 24/7.